Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you Monday, August the 3rd. The year's 2020. Let's talk trading. We're going to trade with Walmal today. I've got him on the line, but first, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and from Walmal's. Trading is extremely risky. You can lose all of your money. If you need trading, investment, or financial advice, seek the advice of an accredited financial professional. So, Walmal, what do we got going here?
Well, we just started at the top of the hour. It's noon on the East Coast of the United States, and I went long at 53.8. And you say, why would I do that? Don't I get long at 50 and 60? Well, the reason is because it broke the top of the previous hour. So because it broke the top of the previous hour, I went long, and I did jump out, and I was able to pick up about 3 pips on that. So, that's for me, that's a good trade. It was just, but the thing is, you got to set yourself up for that because, going in, as soon as that hour hits, know what you're going to do. Plan it out. So my plan was I wrote down on a piece of paper. Some people do it on a computer, but I like doing it on a piece of paper. So I wrote down 53.8, and then I slashed next to it 60, and that's my longs. That's where I was going to look to go long. And then for to go short, I was going to go short at 50, or if you got all the way back down to 29.4, because that was the short for the previous hour. But and then what I was looking to do was that all I wanted to do is, because I've made core for today, all I wanted to do is pick up 2 or 3 pips. That's all I was looking for, and that's why I got out so quick. Don't know. It may go all the way up to 10. Oh, well, that's okay. But I was just looking to get in and out real quick. So that was my goal. And also, I just didn't want to be in the middle of a trade while we're on the phone and doing this video, because then you get distracted. Next thing I lost some money.
You tell people what core means.
Okay, what core means is that I have a goal. What I'm trying to do is every day I'm trying to make 10 pips. That's my goal for the day, is to make 10 pips. Because I know if I make 10 pips based on how much I'm trading, in other words, my lot size, I know I can go and pay my expenses. And I do this, I trade for a living. I mean, it's what I do to go and pay the bills. So I know I need to go and make 10 pips in order to be able to pay for what our bills are. And by doing it that way, I have a goal for the day. I have something that's, for me anyway, seems to be achievable. I'm able to make that just about every day. And that's the reason why I go for that core.
Yeah, but
and then,
I was going to say, we all get these emails about making 50s pips, 100 pips, 1,000 pips on these robots and these methods. What do you got to say to that? Because people can go 10 pips.
Well, here's the thing. Let's say you were making, I'll put it this way. Let's say you're making 100 pips a day. Let's say you go and make 100 pips a day, but you're only risking $1 per pip. Okay? How much did you make at the end of the day? You made $100. Well, what if I was trying to make 10 pips, only 10 pips, but I was going and risking $20 per pip? How much am I making then? I'm making $200. And for me, it just seems like it's a whole lot easier, because I trade the pound dollar, typically you get a range of somewhere around 100 pips. To me, it seems like it'd be a whole lot easier to pick up 10 of those pips than to try to pick up 100 pips. So that's the reason why I do that. Now, that's not to say that you couldn't get 100 pips, because you could write it up or write it down and certainly do that. But I guess maybe I'm lazy or something, because I want to try to go and make my pips and get my day over with and just move on to whatever else that's in life that I want to go and accomplish and do. So that's the reason why I do it the way I do it.
And when you say range of 100 pips, you're talking about the daily range from the daily high to the daily low.
Absolutely, Now, somebody could actually make 100 pips on it. They could go and pick the perfect bottom and hope that it goes all the way to the perfect top. Or, you could write it up 20 pips and write it down 20 pips, write it up 40 pips, write it down, you could certainly do that. But now you're talking about being in lots of trades, more risk that's put on you, a lot more, you talk about all this time, all the different types of, regrets that you could have. Well, man, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. Go in, get the pips that you need to get, and get out. That's just my philosophy.
Yeah, but what do you say when somebody goes, what if you lose 10 pips?
Well, guess what? On Friday, I think you alluded to this in a video. I didn't see the video, but I think you alluded to that. I had a losing day, and at the end of the day on Friday, I lost 14 pips for the day. Well, so far today, I've made almost 30 pips. I'm up at 28 pips. Well, so what have I done? I've gone and made back. I made my core for today and made back all the pips I lost on Friday plus some. That's trading.
Right.
That's trading. That's what's going to happen. You know, you're going to have some winning days, and you have some losing days. And I think I even mentioned this to you on Friday, Tioro, that, you know, I build into my trading plan that I look at it that I need to go and trade 200 days a year. Okay? Well, trading 200 days a year, if I make 10 pips on those 200 days a year, I'm able to easily meet what I need to meet in terms of bills and everything else to sustain the quality of life that I want and need. Well, there's really closer to about 250 or 260 days that you can really trade during the year. So that means I got somewhere between, 40 and 60 other days to go and make up some of those losing days. And that's how I look at it. It's built into my trading plan. I know there's going to be days I'm not going to be on top. That's okay. It's okay to be down for a day, And, I used to look at it this way. If I was down, I was going to trade until I got up. Well, and I would do it, and most of the time I would get to the point where I broke even or got up. But I'll tell you what, the next day I usually had a pretty bad day. And the reason why was because I was so exhausted, not physically, but emotionally going through that it would have just emotionally just been easy. Just take the loss, take 14 pip loss. It's not the end of the world. I'm down 14 pips. I know I can make it up. And if I don't make it up on Monday, I'll make it up on Monday and Tuesday. And that's just how you have to go and do it.
Yeah. So we're at the 60 line. Did you take another long, or did you just watch?
No, I just watched because I was yakking. That actually brings up a very good point, though. I was just yakking, and that point is you did an entire series on this idea of focusing when you're doing your scalping series. You got to be focused. You got to be lasered in. If you're just going and throwing trades out there, you're setting yourself up for disaster because you're not tuned into what the market's doing, and it's when you take a win, that good on you. When you take a loss, well, guess what? Good on you again. And if you're not focused on what's going on, you're going to get yourself into trouble. So, I was yakking away, and so if I get out, don't go in. And at the beginning of this video, I was in that trade that I jumped in right before this video started, and I got out just as this video was starting, and I got out with, a few pips. Part of the reason why I got out so early, because normally I would have stayed in that trade a little bit longer, but part of the reason why is because I knew we were doing a video, I knew we'd be talking, and my focus would not be, sitting there watching this market go up and down and being able to make a smart decision as to what I need to do, because, I have a trading plan. I have a trading plan that tells me when to get in. I got a trading plan that tells me when to get out, and if I'm focused on something else, I'm not going to be following that trading plan very well, and I'll get myself into trouble. And then instead of being up the number of pips I'm up today, I would have been a little bit upset because I would have given back to the market what the market doesn't deserve. But not the market's fault, my fault, because I wouldn't have been paying attention.
Exactly.
So, TRO and I were on the phone with a fellow trader today, and we were talking, and the biggest thing he's, I don't want to say struggling, but working on right now is putting together his trading plan. And I think that is so wise of him to recognize that he needs to be putting together a trading plan, because that's what's going to make you profitable or not make you profitable. And I had said to him, you could go and be winning 90% of your trades, but at the end of the month, actually be down in your account. You could also be up, only 30% of your trades and be up at the end of the month. It all comes down to what's your trading plan, what's your method for getting in, what's your method for getting out, how are you managing that bottom line. It all comes down to that, managing that bottom line. And I think I mentioned this to that trader this morning, that trading, you got to look at trading as a business. Trading can't be a hobby. It's got to be a business because it's real money. It's your money. And when you lose, it's money out of your bank account. It's not money out of somebody else's bank account. It's not, and you can't look at it. This is just a video game. I'm just going to plug in, jump in, grab a couple pips, and yay, I can go and take my wife out for a steak dinner tonight. You can't look at it that way. The market's ruthless to you. Well, guess what? If it's going to be ruthless to you, you got to be sitting out there, as a predator to go and grab the pips that you can get, when you can get them, and be smart enough to go and say, hey, I'm not going to get those pips today. I'm going to go and manage my risk. I'm going to manage my trades, and I'm just going to say, you know what? I'm going to take my lumps today and just take a loss. And that's okay, because if it's in your trading plan that you can go and lose 20 pips in a particular day, and you're under 20 pips, that's good trading. That's good trading. And bad trading is when you stick in it, and next thing you know, instead of being down, 14 pips or 15 pips, you're now down 30 pips or 40 pips or 50 pips. Or you do manage to get to break even, and when you get to break even, the next day you wind up blowing it because your head is just so exhausted from what you went through in the battle that you went through the day before. Because this is a battle.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a battle. So anybody that took the long at 60, you're up about 3.5 pips right now.
Yeah, that would have been a good trade, And like I said, normally I usually don't take the second trade, but I wrote it down on a piece of paper because, that is under my method, under my trading plan, it is a valid entry. I usually don't take it because I usually just take the first one and be happy with whatever I get and come back the next hour if I need to get more pips for that hour.
Now, Walmal, you're an addict. I've seen you take that second trade more than once.
Oh, I know, but my trading plan says I can, but I generally don't like to do it, but I'll still do it, especially if and I think as you trade more, and I think you can go and attest to this, as you trade more, you get a feeling for what the market is going to do. You don't know what the market's going to do, but you have a general idea. Like we were talking last hour, and I was saying, look at this thing. It's bouncing off that 40. It's bouncing. It's bouncing. It's bouncing. It's going to either break to 40 or 50. But before it would break to 40, I think it has to get to the 50. And, did I have a reason for that? Nope. The only reason I had is that I just know, I had a good hunch that that's where the market wanted to go. And I think you agreed with me on that analysis. I don't have any technical analysis to say that it's got to get to that 50. It's got to break that 50. I had nothing like that. It was just more of, I've seen this before. And when you've seen something before, you can go and sort of like, okay, my hunch says it's going to go here. Not that it's going to go there, but my hunch says it's going to go there. And it probably would have been a really good trade to go and jump in there and take that just based on that alone. But again, why didn't I? It's not my trading plan.
Yeah.
And so because it's not my trading plan, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, and had you, and if you even if you want to trade by hunches, that's okay, so long as you have your stop loss and your risk management down.
Exactly right. I know you've joked about it, and I've joked about it. You can go and have an indicator out there that just randomly throws you into the market, and you don't even know the direction. But if you manage the money, you probably could come out on top at the end of the maybe not the end of the day, but the end of the month if you just continue to trade that way. Wouldn't be I'd much rather have a much easier life than that. But the reality is, if you trade the money, that's the most important thing.
Right.
Preserve capital and take advantage of it when the getting is good.
Yeah. So, for example, had you went long at 60, I think you had an opportunity to take 5 pips, and right now you can only take 2. So, you have to take it before the market takes it back.
Right, and a good example of that is that, okay, looking at this hour has already ranged 15 pips. We're up 5. We're now, after the 12 o'clock hour on the East Coast, we know the market starts to slow down. We're coming towards the end of what the range is for the pound. You know what? I got 5 pips.
Yeah.
It's time to put those pips in my pocket.
Yeah, and we're coming to the end of the video, the fastest 15 minutes in trading. So, fellow traders, I hope you enjoyed that. And just remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. And thanks for stopping by, Walmal.
No, thank you.
And this is TheRumpledOne signing out.